Mum guilt today, part of the mum shit cycle. Now, when I was doing a bit of prep for talking about mum guilt, I looked up the definition of guilt. It kind of baffled my head a little bit why we feel guilty for doing things. I couldn't kind of get my head. Obviously, I've felt mum guilt, God, hundreds and thousands of times over the years, but I couldn't quite understand why. Not the biology or the chemistry behind it, but why we feel like we need to feel guilt for not doing something. Obviously, there's an element of comparison and seeing other people and what they're doing and feel guilty that we're not good enough, the negative self-talk. But a definition, and I'll have to read it, that came from Wikipedia, which I think I relate to probably more than the other definitions, was that guilt is an emotional experience that occurs when a person believes or realizes, accurately or not, that they have compromised their own standards of conduct. Their own standards of conduct. And this is the problem. We set our standards so incredibly high as mums. We want to be the best mum we can be for our children. We want to be there for them all the time. We want to work full time. We want to show them that we they look up to us, that we're a good example for somebody that can do it all, that we are mentally, physically fit, that we are nutritionally on point. We want the best for our kids. So the intention, of course, is so positive. It's so right. But the problem in setting our standards that high is that we're never going to achieve it. And then we give ourselves a whole world of pain when we don't. And this isn't something that is fixable overnight, and it's not something that you're going to be able to wake up tomorrow morning and say, right, I've set my standards lower, now everything's okay. But it is about being aware that we are not going to be able to meet all those expectations that we set ourselves. That if you are juggling 55,000 balls in terms of food shopping, ironing, washing, kids after school care, school activities, got 101 million things, you are at some point going to drop the ball. It's physically impossible not to. But ask for help if and when you can, and don't give yourself shit. Just don't do it. If you fuck up, if you make a mistake, if you forget it's World Book Day, if you forget to send that letter back to school, if you, let your kids go to McDonald's and feel guilt for not giving them a nutritious meal, then just give yourself a break. The funniest thing about mum guilt is we feel guilty for spending time with our kids when the house is a mess, but then we feel guilty for cleaning when the house is a mess and not spending time with our kids. We feel guilty for going out with our friends for a friend's birthday and not being with the kids, but we also feel guilty if we stay at home with the kids and don't go out with our friends to celebrate their birthday. It is a constant head mess. It's a constant battle. And you've just got to decide, again, a lot of this is about what makes you happy as a mum. What makes you happy? We always put our kids and our families first. And that is, to a certain point, the way it should be, but not at the detriment of your own happiness. If your kids are going to grandma's or a babysitter's or a friend's and you get the chance to go out, why do you beat yourself up over it? Because you feel like you should be there with your kids all the time. The kids are as happy as pigs in poo. They're probably sat stuffing packet after packet of Haribo in the face, watching shit TV with granny. The kids don't give a shit. You're the one that gives a shit, and there's no reason for it. So cut yourself some slack and understand that you're not going to be the best version of yourself for you or for your kids if you don't give yourself time to unwind and to relax. It's so important. It's one of the best things I ever did, was to be aware that my own mental health and my own mindset had to take priority, because without that, I was running on nerves. I was in a million places at once. My head was constantly thinking about so many different things that I felt shit all the time. I had no energy. I was tired. I was so disorganized. I was procrastinated over everything. I felt shit about myself. I took that out on my partner and my kids. What's the point? The minute I started putting myself first and prioritizing myself and having my self-care Sundays, unquestionably, without hesitation, self-care Sunday, the whole household knows, where's mum on a Sunday night, self-care Sunday. And just having an hour, 2 hours for myself, I look forward to it every week. And then if I decide to go for a walk at 6 o'clock at night on my own without the dog or with the kids or without, I don't feel guilty for those things. I do what makes me happy and what I feel is right for me. As long as the kids are happy, then why can't I be happy too? But yeah, mum guilt is bullshit. It's so frustrating, but it's this whole experiences that occur when a person believes or realises accurately or not that they have compromised their own standards of conduct. You set your standards of conduct. So set them, write them down, put them on in a frame on the wall where you can see them, set your standards of conduct. And if you achieve more, great. If you achieve less and don't achieve them, then it is what it is. But don't give yourself shit for not achieving everything when you're setting your standards ridiculously high.